Ganz herzlich willkommen zu unserer 18. Ausgabe Chat with Funky Space. Ja, ich heiße euch herzlich willkommen. Neben mir sitzt meine liebe Freundin Toni und ich möchte ihr heute und hiermit mal ein kleines Kränzchen winken, eine Danksagung aussprechen, was Toni hier so mit mir mitteilt an euch alle, alias Milady. Sie ist mittlerweile im 10. Jahr mit dieser Begabung unterwegs und wir sind seit circa 1,5 Jahren, haben wir uns erst getroffen und haben ziemlich schnell entschieden, dass wir einen Podcast rausgeben wollen in dieser Form. Und es ist für mich jedes Mal besonders, was sie an Qualität von sich gibt durch dieses Öffnen ihrer selbst. Also sie geht wie in einen Kanal im Verhältnis zu anderen Medien, wenn man das so benennen darf, für den Augenblick, weiß sie danach gar nichts, was durch sie gesprochen worden ist, was ich als sehr besonders empfinde. Sie ist allerdings enorm schnell in der Art und Weise, wie sie sich einmittet und einchannelt. Und ich spüre auch jetzt, Space Radio meldet sich bereits, genau. Und dasselbe, auch wenn sie wiederkommt. Also sie ist enorm schnell, bis sie wieder da ist. Also als meine gute Freundin Toni. Und somit,
hallo.
Ja, herzlich willkommen.
Hallo.
Liebe Space Radio.
Yes, hello, back again.
In der Raumzeitachse hier. Yeah. Genau, und die Frage natürlich...
Special moment to be, or to speak again, you know, with, I would really say like planet Earth,
yeah.
You know, that the difference is really in frequency, that we are so much higher in knowledge and so much deeper and so much... you would call it creativity in your world, but for us it's the extremely in knowing about the frequencies, knowing about the mathematics.
Richtig.
It's so completely, it's like a completely different planet.
Yeah.
So talking to planet Earth, it's like knowing also the difficulties in the past. Excuse me just to interrupt you. You know, the difficulties in the past and the difficulties also right now on Earth, and the difficulties also coming and showing up. And we want to talk, or I want to talk also about that today. Yes.
Sehr, sehr gerne. Ja,
yes.
Also herzlich willkommen.
Yes, thank you. So
in dieser Raumzeitachse.
Yes, it's completely different.
Es ist ebenso. Es treffen zusammen zwei verschiedene Dimensionen.
Yes,
darf ich das so benennen?
You can call it
Richtig.
like that, because a dimension, how you describe a dimension in your world, is always something which is given. And you talk about black holes, you talk about the universe, you talk about light, you talk about gravity. But the information behind it's so difficult that you can understand that. And in our world, we know we have the informations. So you have like the bubble of everything, and you are looking for bubbles, and you are looking. You know, you want to describe the bubbles, but you don't have the information, and we have the information for it.
Sie scheinen zu haben, das Vorher, das Nachher.
The past, the moment, and
so
the future
ist,
as well.
Genau,
yes.
Sie haben den gesamten Überblick.
Yes, because the informations are made, you know, it is... your world is always expecting different planets. You expect Earth, you know, to have moments that you can live on other planets. You're looking for water. You're looking if there are human beings on other planets. If there is other living out of what you have and where you are right now. And there is, but it is so far away that it's not the response on on your technology today. So even if you're looking for, you will not reach it, because it's not your technology that you can understand and that you can go there. So what it's really the universe right now in your world, what you can see and what you can, or what you know by the knowledge of astrology and astronomy. But it's still not the whole knowledge, and it's so much bigger, and it doesn't get in your head. We talked also about that in the past. It's something that you can't imagine, because the human brain is something so limited. Excuse me to say it like that. It's a limitation of knowledge. It's so limited. So and you have more and more human beings which are limited in thinking and in knowledge also. And I know that it's a little bit. It's like putting a little bit. An eye on something to be ridiculous on something which you are, but it's not. It's just the limitation of your brain capacity. And brain capacity, it's also to open up in frequency or not. And we talk again about frequency, because in your knowledge, frequency is something just made by electricity, computers. It's something that you want to fix it with your technology. But frequency is not technology. So you can't understand that. If Milady is standing somewhere, she gets the frequency of every human being. She gets the frequency on plants, and frequency is giving a lot of information. And this is something. It's a knowledge which you get into when you know about the frequency, and you want to have all this information just to put in with your technology and knowing through your technology. But the knowledge was always there, and we spoke also about that. But what I want to mention today is really the meaning of what you think, which it's considered that you call artificial intelligence. So let me say such a a new coming answer on what you can do with it. For you, it's like it's the beginning of it's just the best thing that could happen in the world. That's what you're thinking, and we are saying that it's just the beginning of the elimination of human beings, because it is not your brain which is implementing the frequency and knowing about the frequency. It's your technology, and technology is going to be erased in your world, and so you lose everything. You lose knowledge. So what the generation which are today in your world, about 80, 90, 100 years, they had the knowledge of planting a plant. The technology and artificial intelligence starts, and now I want to talk about that today, to give you wrong information and to mix up things. So this is, and that's why we already talked in other sessions, you need to understand on which direction you want to go. So you're starting to lose your intelligence on earth, because the older elderly people, they are going to die, and they died, and the new ones want just to know everything about technology. And technology starts, and this is now it's your question why it starts like that, because artificial intelligence has in some frequencies, and I need to say it like that, they start to destroy information and to give wrong information. So, for example, I can give you just an example on giving. You have technology, and you are producing medicine, and you just put every program on with artificial intelligence just to put this and this in that order in that package, and it is for this and this disease. So now artificial intelligence, the more you implant it, it gives, and we talked about about that, it has its own reason to do something. It has its own, and you can't as human being, and without also your technology, it goes in the wrong direction. And it gives now the completely wrong recipe for a medicine. And so the very wrong things just get together, and you print a pill, and then you put it in a package, and then you sell it. So you sell completely wrong ingredients to human beings. So who is responsible for that? And this is what artificial intelligence is starting now, because you are like, not you personally, but your world is just expecting that artificial intelligence is just really bringing you all the things, but it gives you, in everything, it gives you an answer. But the thing is, behind that, there is a lot of fake, and you can't understand, and you can't determine the fake with the truth. And putting everything into technology gives you just fake information. And fake information, it's not, just, having fake informations in pictures. It really, it gives also the fake information in what should be normal in your life. A bank account gets different and fake information that it changes. It's not your bank account anymore, but it's the bank account of somebody else. And you as a human being, you can't just say, because you think and you say it's written in the computer, that's you, and the people say yes, and you can't define it, and you can't take it out. And this is, the knowledge of artificial intelligence, which you as human being are really, really considering right now as something so perfectly given by technology. But it's really the undergoing of humanity and human beings, because people can't work anymore with that. That's why also, and we told that also, that people go back to paper and a pencil. You don't trust technology anymore. How you can trust technology if your car is just putting you in, and you have already problems like that on Earth right now. But you're not exactly, but you're not looking on that. You're just thinking that it's just, it can be, because technology is just the big brother, and it's watching us, but it's watching us with a different eye. And now I want to talk about that. You have also, and this is all about frequency, because you don't understand the frequency, you can do it. Frequencies are, and it's like putting and making an ear test in your world. Some people hear completely different, they have a different measure of ears,
so verschiedene Frequenzen hören, meinen Sie?
And this is also in artificial intelligence, and as soon, and you have it, but you can see it, gravity, and we talked about gravity already in the first podcast and sessions we had. The frequency are just changing, they move information, and this is not something that you can do it by your hand and not by your technology. It's already something which is in the air, and how you can change the air. And so also the informations you get from all the stations you have, in the universe, they just get you the wrong information. And that's why I'm talking about that. You have wars in your world, and there are people, they know already about it, that with frequency you can kill completely different human beings and also places. So the more frequency, and because frequencies are changing, and you can't stop it as human being, and not even as a company. That's just given by the reason of how the world is there, and how the universe is. It's just universal, and the more how I can say it, the more changed frequency, the more fault and fake is coming down to Earth. And now having also a fake information, and you have wars right now. You have everything in technology. They get also different and wrong frequencies and wrong information. So that when you are starting to do something, GPS signal, and you have already those problems, and you start also in your world just to think about it could be this one, it could be that organization. But it's not. It's that with artificial intelligence and with these signals, you get wrong informations, and this wrong information are leading also to wrong results.
Yeah,
and are also and are also leading to wrong communication, but also are very dangerous in fighting. You, in your world right now, you have different wars, and you fight also with technology.
Yeah.
But now what happens through this frequenced or changed frequenced equipment, and human beings, and that's why I'm talking about that. Human beings are frequency. So the frequency, if you want just to break down with artificial intelligence and with your technology, this tree, it doesn't get the tree, it gets to a human being. So with this frequency, you start to, let me say, having, and I'm sorry to say it like that, the war from the technology and machines and human beings. And this is something that change also the living on earth, because nobody wants to get out, nobody wants to work, because there is danger when you go out of the streets. You need to understand that everything which is it's technology and it's electricity, and it's really let me say, given on computers, it's a danger for human being. So nobody wants to make an operation anymore, because you work with technology and it gives you the wrong information. So instead of just going and say to the doctors, even if in your world everybody asks, is it this, is it this, is it this, but as soon as you open just all the technology, it gives you the wrong information. Then you have people in with how you call it, on anesthetic, they can talk when they are like, how you call it in your world?
Ja, ich weiß es gerade nicht, was Sie
the narcoticum. It's a narcoticum. This is the place where you put a medicine into your body.
Die Anästhesie.
Yes.
Als solche.
Yes, you put
das Anästhetikum.
Yes,
Richtig.
you put this medicine into bodies.
Richtig.
Just to develop, a place which is just transforming the hurt. It's to not be felt. The hurt of just cutting something that it's not felt.
Richtig.
But you need to understand that if you have the wrong information on your computers, you start also to put completely different medicine into the body.
Oh, ja.
And you need to understand
zu verstehen, was Sie
and
sagen
it's not only
möchten.
you need to understand that artificial intelligence and your technology, they are going into war because they fight the right information, what's right and what's wrong. And if a doctor says, well, but it's written in there, I just look, the computer have this information, but the informations are completely wrong. Who is going also to say, I did my best? Because, nobody wants to be, it's like a prosecution afterwards on people which have already done a good work before. But with the technology, you start to get wrong information. And this is not, cyber something. It is the wrong information because you have artificial intelligence, because their frequency are starting to change. And you had examples already, and this is the future now. And now you need to understand what it's fake and what it's not. And with fake, it's not just a fake picture. With fake, it's also the wrong information.
Yeah.
So you can put people into jail if they have done nothing, but because the computers are just changing. And what you need to understand is that they are not organizations into that, because now also police and governments are asking if there is, it's like a complot against somebody or something. That's not. It's also the artificial intelligence. It's the frequency. You need to understand frequency, and that's what you don't know on Earth. And that's what makes also the living on Earth very difficult in the future. Because of this wrong information, because of this nonsense of information that you get from the wrong side.
Yeah.
And this wrong side is given by nature, because frequency, or you can't stop frequency in the universe, how you want to do that.
Ja, nein, das ist sehr einleuchtend. Können Sie uns noch diese Beispiele nennen oder ein Beispiel nennen, um einfach das bildhaft noch etwas greifen zu können, begreifen zu können, was da in jüngster Zeit geschehen ist?
Yes, well, I can give you an example, and it already started, and it will go on, and now, it's like that your world is just also talking very much about artificial intelligence, and wants to have the responsible also to, they can't eliminate frequency, that's the problem. And you think that you can... Yeah, and you think in your world that you own all the information. So one company wants to make money because they think that they own the information. The other company wants to delete the information because they are wrong. And the other company is also, how we can say that, they want to start to transform the informations because they get already problems, and they get also people getting them in front of the court, because you need to understand, you walk on the street, 2 days later, I just give you this example, on a police station, you are searched because you murdered a person, which is not true at all.
Yeah.
And then you need to show to the policeman, to the police, that it's not you, And then people start to say, well, we have cameras, we have everywhere cameras, but also they are deleting the information because of the frequency. And so it can't be get, to the real fact. And what you're doing. So it's getting more and more difficult to getting the real fact. So, who are you putting into something if nobody knows about frequency? So you put people into jail. You don't know what happens. You put families into danger. You put companies into danger, because what is, and I don't want to say fake, because it is the artificial intelligence moving the information, and you can't stop it because you're already in that. The only stopping is just deleting everything which is technology, and you are still not at that point. So that's why you're going through this period everywhere in the world. So what I can say as well, nobody wants to have, nobody puts a feed in a plane, because you get different information. Nobody puts a feed in a car. Nobody starts to buy car. They prefer to go by foot or by bicycle. You need to understand that technology is just undergoing like a big surgery, and people think that it gets better, but you can't make a surgery with artificial intelligence, because or you stop and you delete everything which is technology, and you go, and I always taught that also, that you go back it's going back to the roots, because technology is just giving you more mortalities, more fatalities, more incidents and accidents, and you are not able to stop it, and you are not able to know it. You don't know it, because you think as human being that technology is just made by technology, and you as human being can and have the result of everything in technology, but that's not. And now it starts to put you in danger as humanity.
Ich möchte an dieser Stelle nochmal.
It's very important, excuse me to say, but it is really the importance of the 2 days session, the 2 days informations which you need to have, because it starts to get to a real big problem.
Ja, weil wir transportieren das hier über diesen Kanal, über den elektrischen Kanal, wenn man so will, nach außen in die Welt, auch diesen Podcast. Es ist eine Dimension, die hier mit uns spricht, und so, ich kann dafür in dem Augenblick mit meiner Persönlichkeit gerne dafür bürgen.
I'm a real person, yes.
Genau, gesprochen durch eine reale Persönlichkeit. Für mich ist immer wieder wichtig, dass wir auch eben bildhaftes Material bekommen, von Ihnen ausgesprochen in Bildern, so dass wir begreifen können, von was Sie sprechen.
Exactly, yeah.
Und wir hinunterbrechen können, eben dieses Aufeinandertreffen von verschiedenen Dimensionen. Sie kommen von einer universellen, ich sag mal, Energiekraft, einer Urquelle, die hier in diese Dimension Zeit und Raum hinein sich begibt, für Augenblicke gesprochen durch Milady.
Yes.
Und das, was Sie jetzt geschildert haben, vielleicht eine kurze Konklusion davon ist, das Phänomen, dass diese Energie, die um uns allumfassend uns begibt, die greift ein. Versteht Sie richtig?
Exactly. Because right now you have this hype in your world. You know, the world is existing as a planet since many millions, billions of years, and there were also times there were no human beings, and there were times there were more human beings on one place of the earth, and also the earth itself changed. You know, you have more water. There were just different landscapes, and there were also different places where you had you had more nutrition, and then it wasn't, and now you have nutrition on another place. So this is always changing, also because of what is climate, because of what is water, because if some everything. But that you have that number of human beings on Earth, it's the first time. That's also, we talked also about that by the end of this about 80, less than 80 years, you have so less human beings in your world, because the problems are starting now. So it's not just the war which you have in your world, it's also, and you talk about climate change. Climate change consider also the transport of information. I need to say that. And also what you didn't have in the last 200-300 until 500 years, it was that gravity on Earth changed that much, you know, and you can't just put a sound out in the universe and say, well, gravity, it's now this and this, because you as a human being wants always to have everything on black and white. We talked about that. It is just changing without your knowledge. It's just changing because it has to change. It's changing because it wants to change. It doesn't ask human beings or companies if it can change. It doesn't ask anybody on Earth for a favor. It is because forces on Earth and outside the Earth, they are just they are there. It's like a volcanic activity. It doesn't ask you, can I or cannot. We talked about that last time. So this is the same thing, and this is the same thing also with transporting information. What you have, you know, you put all this equipment you put this equipment in the universe, and you think that, you know, they have to give you a response of everything, that you can communicate from A to B and so on. And now this will be interrupted. So, you know, they don't have to do it, because frequency can work like it want to. So frequency doesn't need to give you an information. And with artificial intelligence, we talked about that. The intelligence was always there. Now you think that you can have all the information and they give you the right answer. Yes, they give you an answer. If it's the right one, it's something different. And if it's the right one that helps you to go on as humanity, it's a different question. And it just, you need to understand, it's like I can give you the example of a book. You know, when you buy a book, you want to read it because, or you're interested in the story, or something. Just you know, the picture is like, oh, I like this picture. The book must be so interesting, and you start to read it. So you start to read it, and they are human beings. They can just read one page, and then they read after 10 pages. They read another page, and they understand the whole book. You know, and a few human beings are like that, but the rest needs really to read it from the first page until the last one to understand the whole thing. So what happens now is artificial intelligence, you know, you explored, I need to say it like that, you explored as human beings, you explored artificial intelligence in the way it gives you an answer right now. But now they start, the intelligence itself, because of gravity, starts to give you just a few information, not the whole thing, and delete informations because it works behind, you know, it doesn't need to tell you something.
Nicht aufzuhalten.
Exactly. And so it gives you, for example, in a loving book, it gives you, in a very fantastic loving book, it gives you just the information of the couple, and then it gives you the information of having children, and then it gives you the information of that. So, but you don't know what it's in between in between the whole book. You know what's the story. So the dog could be that, you know, or the grandfather with an age of 100 years could be that. You just get this information. So you get just a few words, a few waves of information. And artificial intelligence is transforming now on Earth, what I told you at the beginning and now, and then you just get a few information. So it makes the whole thing so difficult to live on Earth. It makes the information so difficult to understand, and it gives the wrong information, and you as a human being transform all this information in something completely different because you don't know about it.
Weil wir aus Frequenz bestehen.
Exactly, and it starts also to you know, if you give an information to a car, you know, with artificial intelligence, it transforms the information of the car, and it transforms also the information of where you have to go, because you as a human being are sitting in the car and you are frequency at all also, and it gives you completely the wrong information.
Genau, also es interagiert zwischen diesem frequenzsensierten Wesen, was wir als Menschen sind, und der Technologie.
Yes. And so that's the danger which you will have on Earth, and you can't, and that's the only thing, that's why we talked also about that. And I really need to say, and it's not something that you can stop it, technology will be just deleted from your, let me say, from your planet, because people start to know what is happening, and they don't want it because they feel in anger, they feel in danger, they feel, you know, with these wrong informations about them. So putting a child into a jail because you have the information because of your computers and your information, what's that? You know, explain to other people and to police that's not the truth, you know. And the thing is that your world is technologized. Also, you have everywhere cameras, but they start to interact into informations which are not true. And this is something you don't even know that, and you don't even know how to stop it.
Daraus zu
so
kommen.
your world, which you think that in today and in this year you think that you are so advanced and this is not cyber criminality, this is artificial intelligence.
Das hat noch nichts mit den Menschen als solches zu tun.
And not with and so this is something that it really goes in a direction which you really should stop everything which has to do with it, because it's already in. It's like poison. It's like putting poison into a technology, and the poison is already in. And now, I'm sorry to say it like that. Now you get, the results of something poisoned. People, when you eat a poisoned apple, you die, and you can't understand that you can poison also technology.
Ja, klar. Es ist wie Tinte in ein Wasserglas hineinfüllen.
Yes, exactly.
Es ist das Moment, wo diese Tinte reinfließt und alles zu dieser blauen Tinte für unser Auge wird.
Yes, and this is, also the conclusion on what you need to know, and on what step you went as human beings, as people, as living people on Earth. And this has also to do with a lot of trust, because you start to not trust people anymore, not trust companies.
Lebendige Prozesse überhaupt, denke ich. Also das Beständige per se ist die Veränderung.
And not even to the car, you don't want to have a car.
In der Natur überhaupt. Und dass wir das nicht mehr bedenken. Es ist eine Art von Ignoranz, dass wir alles festgelegt haben. Verstehe ich Sie da richtig?
Yes, exactly.
Ja, genau.
So you need to understand that your technologized world, it's what kills you as human being.
Das sind heftige Worte, was Sie da beschreiben.
It kills you because, even not having food, not having a medication, not having, you can't go to work, because what are you doing with your technologized world? It gives just the wrong information. You can't write a letter because the letter comes just out as something completely different, and you get wrong information. So what you are doing? You need really to go back in times and just write the letter by hand or by a typing machine again. This makes you, and this is what we want to say and explain you, and it's not in 100 years, my dears, it's something which is already going on.
Das ist ein unbewusster Zug der Menschheit mittlerweile, alles Natürliche zu verleugnen, ich sage zu ignorieren.
You put too much power in technology now.
Richtig, und wir glauben an das.
Yes, And two big companies, we talked already about that in further or in past, sessions. That there is a big company which is very known worldwide, which has to close their doors because they can't work anymore. It's like, you need to understand that what you defined as a solution for everything, it's also a solution to play with a knowledge which is not in your hand. And now it's like going to, it's like technology is going to die, let me say it like that.
Yes, it's a self-killing process. Ist das richtig?
Also,
Ja, genau. So, komplett unbewusst.
So you can imagine what kind of technology companies have problems.
Nochmal zurückzugehen auf Beginn dieses Podcasts. Sie sprachen auch von der Frequenz als solches. Ich denke, das ist ein wichtiger Teil, den wir hier auch beleuchten wollen. Frequenz, wie bezeichnen Sie Frequenz? Ich kann immer wieder so von einer Sinuskurve, Schwingung, Energie, es fehlen mir, Sie merken es fehlen mir die Worte, es auszudrücken, was Frequenz bedeutet.
It's not what you know on Earth. It is
so
the complexity.
Ahne ich doch.
Yes, it's like, you on Earth want to, you're working with technology and you put a lot of light, you have waves, you have light, you have everything, and you put everything into that. But frequency are so different, and so every cells of everything which is on Earth, so from the little animal to the biggest tree, has a different frequency. Even if you think to know, how a plant is growing and how things are going on, it changes every second.
Ja.
So that's why you don't get into this information.
Genau.
Even if you want to, and you show it in your, how you call it, television, and you show how beautiful nature is, but you don't have it in another time, it is different. And right now on Earth, with the different frequency, which changed a lot, you will get completely different results.
Ja, richtig.
Because it changes also nature, it changes also the quality of water, it changed the quality of earth, it changed the quality of everything. It changes because this frequency, or a fire is always a fire, but it changes in its frequency.
Richtig.
So that fire can also... And we talked about that also last year, that water is a very big problem this year on Earth, you know. And these 4 elements are also a big problem. But water is really, really damaging also a lot. But water has also the damaging, but also the bringing. You know, with water you eliminate a lot of things, but you bring also a lot of things.
Ja, es ist auch eine Nahrung. Ja, klar. Es gehört zu diesen Grundelementen. Also mit dem sind wir beschäftigt mittlerweile oder konfrontiert mit den Natur, ich sag mal Katastrophen, so benennen wir es als Gesellschaft.
And you're not looking on nature. You're really so focused on technology, and that's why also nature and technology, so technology will be gone and nature comes up and you don't know nature anymore.
Yeah.
And you don't know the frequency of nature.
Yeah.
So that what tribes in your world, they lived, you know, with the frequency of nature at that time. They knew where they have to go to put a little seed that they can eat, you know, and having food for the upcoming generation, upcoming years, and for their families. But you don't know that anymore because you technologized everything. That's also a problem.
Und wir haben diese heilige Kuh, benenne ich sie mal, hier an dieser Stelle angebetet und der Glauben geschenkt.
Oh yes.
Und nicht der Natur als solches, die alles offenbart. Eben durch diese Frequenz, sprich die Information der Frequenz, die sich stetig verändert. Das ist ja das Zeichen des Lebens.
And now you get
lebendig sein.
And now you get this information, the wrong information from technology, and you measure more power to those information instead of the information that you know. So your knowledge will be gone also.
Yeah,
you know.
richtig.
So and your knowledge, and so you delete the humanity, you delete human beings, you delete everything because you can't figure out what is the truth of being and what is the truth because you feel conform and you feel comfortable with technology. You don't feel conform with nature anymore. And this is also what kills humanity. I need to say it like that. And it kills it in a form of, you know, starting now, and started already, to give you the wrong information.
Ist das nicht auch eine Form des natürlichen Seins, dass diese Hochkulturen, Hochblüten, benenne ich sie mal, untergehen mussten, ich sage, zugunsten einer Entwicklung,
yes.
um es wertfrei zu halten?
Yes. But they are coming back because human beings. But it's not the generation, you know. If somebody in your earth is about
in einer anderen Art und Weise auch kommt es zurück,
and it is
kommt
also
es wieder.
Yes, and with the still unborn children, and you have, and that's why also you have less and less human beings right now because it's like you know. You are looking different facts. Yeah, you're looking to different facts why people don't want or can't have children.
Yeah.
But in frequency, it's like also every human being, as I told you, it's frequency. This frequency or those frequency, these unborn babies, they don't want to come out in this period in your world. And so many people are also losing their life because, or dying. Now, dying is a natural process also in the world. Yeah. So it is so normal that for the next, it already started, but also for the next 20-25 years, it is continuing, you know, so that you really lose people everywhere. Yeah, and also because of this technology, let me say, intolerant moment, because people, if they can trust to computers, to whom they can trust, because they don't trust people anymore either. So you need to understand that this is also a very period of people don't want to get together. People don't want to, because it's like putting people into something you don't know to whom you can trust anymore, because you don't know if the person, bringing you out of your money on a bank account can be a friend or not. So you need to understand that through this fake technology, people don't trust the people behind it anymore. So they don't trust the company anymore. They don't trust even, you get a wrong pill to who you don't trust. You don't trust anymore. So you need to understand. So the whole system is really it's like getting into a rug. You need to understand that it's a very serious and enormous, dangerous step you're getting in as humanity, with technology, and with this putting it high and just making and writing nearly love letters to artificial intelligence.
Was skurril in sich ist, verstehe Sie.
You need to understand, and this is frequency. You need to understand, and that's what people doesn't know. People are not. They know about frequency in general, they think that the frequency that you have in doing something or that this is enough, but that it's much more behind, much more. Yes, it is to rethink what you have on Earth. It's to rethink, how and in which direction. We talked about that as well. In which direction you want to go. You need to rethink also the work of companies, because if you want to lead a company, you need to rethink in what you are in already and with your own technology and with technology itself. Because, if many people start to lose money from a bank account, you have to close the bank.
Das gibt einen
super
crash.
Yes, if people, starting, they want to go and take medicine because they needed always medicine, but, the medicine has just the wrong ingredients and you don't know because the features behind it just make it wrong. What are you doing? You don't trust, you start to don't trust anymore.
Was vehement ist an Reaktion auch.
So you have your own co and you put just through plants in your little garden. That's the only trust you will have. You can have if you just don't stop it.
Ist der Krieg an verschiedenen Stellen hier auf dieser Erde auch ein Schauplatz oder ein Reaktor, wenn man so möchte, von dieser Frequenz, die so stark durch die Gravitation beeinträchtigt wird? Ist das einfach auch, ich sage, die Exekutive, das ausführende Organ dieser Kraft?
It changed a lot how it will continue. Yes, it will continue. It changed how it will continue. Yes.
Was heißt, können Sie das ein bisschen präzisieren? Was heißt, was wird sich wirklich verändern da drin? Weil ich meine, Krieg ist immer noch Krieg.
Always, yes, and it's something so. The aspect on what you have on Earth is always since many decades that you want to fight an old system. it's like to fight it's like fight an old system, and you feel right in fighting. If the frequency will be you have to love everybody, you would just be like in danger of how it works to love everybody. They are a population that can live in freedom because they are frequent, let me say, with this kind of being there for somebody else, but you understand being there for somebody else completely different. You understand it in fighting what I have, it's not yours. So the system is different. You need to understand the message behind the frequency. And so it will continue because you are not now I talked about a few which can do that. You're not able to put this enormous message into freedom. And this is an old system which is also in the frequency of, we talked also about world frequency, about place frequency, about human frequency. And that's why this humanity and also your technology, it's like leading you to things, to do things, to go through things, to be, to just, explore what makes people unhappy. Because being happy, when you are happy, 10 are unhappy because they had to work with they nearly had to lose their life, that you can be happy. And this is also what it's war in your world. One want to be happy and hundreds needs to excuse me lose their life. So this is like the information of the situation.
Und das wird diese Veränderung
exactly. And
bedenken.
Exactly. So it's also in technology now, artificial intelligence, it's also like getting into something which you can't stop, and it makes people unhappy, and it makes them also, because it doesn't work anymore like it was before. And so, who is happy and who lose, excuse me, and who lose in that time. So this is the whole system which is also in this information in the own upcoming 10 years.
Oh ja, das ist auch noch angenehm, dass Sie immer eine Zeitangabe dazu geben. Es hilft uns.
And I need to say as well, and I know that it's hard for human beings in your world, also natural deaths of human beings are into that. Natural deaths, because human beings are frequency, and you need to understand that the frequency also, it doesn't select a person, the person itself, it's frequency, and if the frequency is on a level that you need to die, because every human being goes one day to die, it is the time, and it's not always that somebody must be sick or somebody it's just the frequency say so stop, it stops, and frequency is not always something which, or that's what you can't understand. Frequency, and not every human being has the same frequency, because the cell system is so different. You talk about DNA, it's so individually, and also the frequency are so individually in the cells. And so if they get on let me say, it's like putting on a temperature that just goes over, and it's just too much, and it stops, and so human being stops also to live. So they are also human beings, they die very young, they are human beings, they die old. It's not also the organs of a body, they are in frequency in the cells. And so you can't say, well, this person lives that long and that long, because it's always in a changement. So if somebody was so healthy, it doesn't mean that this person get old.
Richtig, sehr schön
so
erklärt.
it's something you need to understand how it works. And if somebody and your world also, that's what I need to say as well, you think that medication helps people just to get old. And now you have just the wrong information in the medicine, and you have also a human being which has also a short life. So, the complexity of all that. You need to understand the complexity of all that. And this is not something that you learn somewhere because you don't know it. You're still not able as humanity. And so don't really think that you as human beings understands right now what is going on Earth. It gives you and it makes you like sitting in front of big question marks, because you have in your world, you understand your knowledge, you understand what you learned, but you don't understand the unknown things. And the unknown things, exactly, the unknown things are getting in such a dimension that you can't understand why there are less children, you don't understand why people have to die, you don't understand why technology is getting a big fault, you don't understand why this is like that. So you're always questioning. So the period upcoming in your world, it's putting a lot of question mark because you don't know anymore and you're lost in that.
Ja, was für wertvolle, wichtige
and that's why we are saying that, it's really, das heraus. Yes, it's like you're just questioning everything and you just want to put an answer behind everything with your knowledge, but your knowledge is like gone because it doesn't work anymore for the future times.
Ja, the answer is nothing und das Ganze. Es ist alles und nichts.
So,
es umfasst eine so weit größere Dimension, die wir so noch nicht begreifen können in unserer Begrenztheit, wie Sie es auch beschrieben.
Exactly. Also many companies, even if a company has been there for 100 or 200 years, or you had a jubilee of 50 years, it doesn't mean that it will just go on. Because things are changing completely also with that kind of. Now maybe you can ask, well, but we are human beings and we are living in that world and we want to make it so happily that we just can grow our children and do this and do that. The thing is that you change it as human being. You change the world also. Yeah. And it is written, yes, but you changed it. And in the last years, you changed it so much. And even if, the signs were there, but you didn't listen to the signs. You just went as human beings in a very focused way to put you so much in danger that you can't get out of that right now.
Und so hilft die Gravitation, diese Urenergie.
Yes, it's also to delete, and to renew, but it's not a renewing that you can renew your company and then you make more money. So just get out of that.
Aus dem System heraus.
It's really it's shaking through the system. You can say it also in that kind of words. It's shaking through the system that as humanity as well. Yes, but it's always we need to make it reasonable for the human beings and also that you can understand what's going on, because we understand the question marks that you have. We understand the question mark, and we understand that you think that working in how you call it in solutions are not always the best solutions for your world and for the human beings. So you want everything in technology, and you are not able to say, well, we want to make it in wood. You want to make it technologized because you need to understand the everything, and you need to have numbers, and you want everything you have now, this electric cars. And we're just really laughing. I need to say, it's like, you need to understand, it's like looking at something and we say, okay, they have to go through that period, and then they understand that it doesn't work. And it's like, it's not a laughing, but you understand why we really talk about the Stone Ages, because it is so far away from what you will get. So many people will not even, which are right now on Earth, we talked also about that, are not in the new time.
Es ist...
because you can't understand, you can't survive in the new time.
Weil wir lesen und erkennen nicht die wahren Zeichen, die sie uns senden, geben, zeigen, offerieren immer wieder, ja, sondern wir...
You're making the same faults always, the mistakes.
Ja, so.
But there are also good things during that time. So, but you need to understand. That's why we said also we talked also that population will not grow during that time.
Yeah.
That's also something good because Earth is really it's needed that the Earth is really it's a recovery.
Richtig, und es ist nicht eine Negativaussage per se.
Yes, and also volcanic ashes, as we talked, also it's a recovery of a lot of things, also all this water, and you don't see it like that because it destroys where you're living. Richtig. But you know, water was always there. Yes, but because you see it, but it helps really to recovery and to give also more, let me say, access to tribes or countries or things to change. Yeah. Because it is a very big changement these 10 years. Upcoming 10 years, it's really, it's a big changement,
Das einzig Wahre und Beständige ist der Wandel.
It was always like that, and you are completely into it. And through your thinking, that you think that a lot of things can't be changed. Because you want to change it through technology. That's the problem.
Das ist der falsche Schlüssel.
Yes, exactly. That's the big problem on all that, and that's the biggest problem, which will be also deleted in the next 10 years. So that you're really, let me say, make peace with planet Earth. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's really like make peace with planet Earth, because planet Earth will forgive you the faults, you know, and you need
wandelt
bereits. Yes. But you have to go through because you made it also, you know. If you made something wrong, now you're going to the wrong time with it, and this is the technology as well, you know. In some things also now that we can talk like that, you know, you say, well. But it gives also the informations to many other people. But you know, the informations were given also when people also traveled differently, and when people had, sorry to say it like that, you know, their birds, and when they had, you know, less people on Earth, so that nobody needed all these informations, what happens, you know, in that country and in this country. So the people also lived more peacefully.
Yeah.
So it's not everything good what transformed the world in the last 500, 600 years. I know that for many it may be a very hard word, you know, because everything what you're doing, it's always that you think on Earth right now that you are the best outcome of whatever was on Earth. But that's not the truth. I'm sorry to say it like that, yes. The truth is really a loving person, and this frequency of I would really say the whole humanity is not loving person, Even if you want to live that in your daily life, but the frequency is still not that high, because you're still... let me say, even if you want to be loving with your family, with your children, with your partner, it starts always in where you're in from the timetable of 2024. You know, or the past years. So you're not, even if you think to be, you're not, because you're on the wrong timetable. Let me say like that.
Das ist schön ausgesagt.
Yes, because we don't want, you know, to disturb also the knowledge of what you're looking for, you know, the best thing.
Ja, richtig.
We can understand that, but the timetable is not it's in 10 years. So the people which will survive these 10 years, they are in, and the people which not, well, you know, it's so normal. So I'm sorry to say it like
es ist
that.
die Natur.
It's nature, and it's not bad, you know.
Richtig.
Just also leaving planet Earth and just having a different
Nein, es ist ein
watching eye also. Yes,
ein natürlicher
it's a natural process.
Absolut.
Yes. And it's nothing bad, you know.
Ja, aber es ist schön, Sie nehmen diese Zeitqualität wieder so ein bisschen wie in eine Leichtigkeit hinauf, so dass es nicht so fixiert ist. Also dafür möchte ich mich sehr bedanken, weil es zeigt wiederum auch auf, dass wir, ich sag, out of the box denken, dürfen, sollen unser Bewusstsein erweitern. Unser Bewusstsein, unser festgefahrenes, unser verkrustetes Dasein in richtig und falsch ein bisschen eröffnen.
Yes, and to think also differently. Yes, to think also differently that, you know, because what you have on Earth right now, and you think that you know, you want to do steps, you know, and you want to do this, you know, on a natural way, and you want to do this and this. But the time quality which you are in, it's still not the moving moment to really move. You will be moved or forced by natural forces, because nature will really make you like quit. It's like quit something. It's quit where you're in. Nature will quit where you're in. I need to say it like that, because nature and also frequency are nature. You know, it's nature.
Wir sind in diesem Prozess, in dieser Turbulenz. Wir sind mittendrin.
Yes, so that these 10 years involve a very big changement. Yes. But also a good one, I need to say that, you know. So also for families which have really small children or which have newborn babies, you know, you don't need to understand and think that it's all bad. But many children, they don't want to come out now on Earth. So you need also to understand that even a baby has the frequency to understand and know on which time and where they want to live and come out. Let me say it like that, as a product.
Ja, weil es in diesem Zustand noch
it's too early.
Bewusstsein
it's chaos,
ist.
Completely chaos on Earth. So, and the few which are coming now in these 10 years, they're coming and going. It's there and their children, so it's still not, you know, it's still something upcoming. As we said, you know, these 10 years, it's really the natural forces changement.
Lieben Dank.
Thank you so much, and it's also evolution. We talked about that, and you can't stop evolution. It's not in your hand as human beings. It's going on.
Wir sind Teil.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We talked also about micro and macro once in a session, and you are also that in your world. You need to understand it from a bigger eye, from a bigger access also to the world. Yes. Very much, but thank you so much, and thank you always to inform you. You know, it's like an update. I know that you are doing updates in your technology, which are, well, you need to, well, you know, you can, let me say it like that, you will spend more time in the future with your loved ones instead of doing updates, because you don't have computers anymore. That's also something good, no?
Yes, eine Qualität, eine Lebensqualität.
Yes, it's something different, yes. So thank you so much, and to always have the possibility to tell you and to update you about the future things, and about, the rethinking of what you do and have on Earth, yes.
Danke Ihnen.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. So thank you also to Milady, with her very high frequenced ear. Let me say it like that. Yes, thank you so much. And go through the information about artificial intelligence, because it starts to get to a very tricky assignment. Yeah. So thank you so much. Bye bye. See you next time. Always a pleasure. Thank you.